What's happening? It's Eric J. Olson. We are doing something a little bit new with the journey to $100 million, and that is interviewing other entrepreneurs live on social media. So we're going to be doing this every couple of days, really. Kevin's going to interview people. I'm going to interview people, and then we're going to take a snippet from those longer interviews. They'll be about maybe 20 minutes long, and we'll take a snippet that pertains really well to the podcast, and we'll make an actual podcast episode out of that. As an example, I just got done with speaking with an entrepreneur who I met through the Entrepreneurs Organization. His name is Chris. I won't attempt to pronounce his last name because he's Polish, and there's a lot of weird combinations of letters in there that I'm not used to saying. But he runs a mobile application company in Poland, and he had a lot of really good things to say about building up his company, which he's built from 5 people 3 years ago to 50 people today. And for him, it's really about the people. Surprise, surprise, right? We keep hearing that. It's about the people. And he has some stories about where he hired someone and they were doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, and he didn't get rid of them quite quick enough. But there's a silver lining. Now, I don't want to ruin the story, so we're going to cut to a snippet of the episode right now. Check it out.
Which are the most common that I really committed, and I think all are connected to hiring people and not firing them early enough. So all the stories I actually have are connected to that I hired a manager who I really put big hopes in, and a person I know was a drug addict, but I didn't know. So the person was really having ups and downs, or I hired another guy who was really ambitious to the point that he was stealing some of the clients and giving it to his other company. So these were the big mistakes I made quite recently, like at the beginning of this company. Of course, you have 3 months to fire those people, usually before the things are getting really wrong. And the funny history about this actually happening, the other guy who was like stealing clients, was that I went to my boss, to head of supervisory board. That's a guy who is like chief economist for the PwC, like super important guy. He teaches at Harvard, etc. And I say, okay, what should we do with this guy? I think we should fire him. So he said, not really. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him 1 more month. So after a month, this guy is still doing this, even after we had a talk. And I come again to my supervisor and say to him, we should really fire him a month ago. And he says, no problem. It's very good because we quite cheaply learned a lot. That's right. And I think it's a good approach. Always when you make a mistake, think about it that you, without having a huge expense, otherwise that you bankrupt your company, it's really failing everything in your life. But this is quite rare situation. Usually you can really fix it and you draw some conclusion and you learn. So actually, I think doing business, being an entrepreneur is actually like bumping from one mistake to another. And once you bump from those mistakes, the scale gets larger. But on the other hand, you know how to avoid those bumps more and more.
Hey there, it's Eric J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey, How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you could apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Eric J. Olson.